Welcome on into the video everyone, my name is RobinVouz and today we're checking out Order 13. Now what is Order 13? Order 13 is a warehouse simulation game that is also a horror game. In this warehouse, you will have a monster roaming around trying to eat you while you are trying to make these orders. And the monster isn't the only thing to look out for. You'll see I was able to pet this cat here. The cat plays a very important role as well. In the bottom left corner, you'll see a cat happiness meter. Once that reaches 0, the cat dies. So you have a little time limit, but that time limit is the cat dying of unhappiness, which isn't too great. And the goal is to not have the cat die, and of course not have you die by getting eaten by a monster. So what's the goal of the game other than don't die and don't let the cat die? Well, the goal of the game is to do these warehouse delivery missions to reach your daily quota. Here you can print off your orders, and currently you can only have one at a time. You can have a second printed, but obviously you only have one available at the moment. And with this, you'll need to go to certain areas within the warehouse to collect packages. Here you'll see we have warehouse location WH. WH means warehouse, as there is a basement section as well with even more items. W1 is the first bay in location W. And then O1 is basically the very first container. 7 containers in a bay. So that is what we have there. Then you need to enter a code to pick up the item, which I'll show you. Actually, I'll show you right here, because this is quite an easy one to get. So we can head out into the warehouse. Here the music stops. Things are very dark. Things are very eerie. And that's fine. What we want to do is we need to find WH, I believe it was W101. And hopefully I've remembered the code here. There we are. So we put in the code, we take our item, and then we basically run all the way back. You'll see in the bottom left meter, the cat happiness meter has degraded from 330 back down to the base 300. You get an extra 30 if you pet your cat each day, which is nice. So always make sure you come over and pet them. They also change position each time you come back. There you go. They're on the bed. Isn't that lovely? So we have our item. What do we want to do with it now? Next, we want to get a box. We put the item in the box. We put in some packaging protection. Close it up. Take it here. Print off a sticker. There we are. Or the tape even. And then the sticker. And then you set it good to go. And thankfully everything's correct. So we get the full payout, which is really nice. And then you're going to do this again and again and again. So how do things change? Because that might seem a little monotonous. Well, first of all, like I said, things do procedurally get harder as you progress through the game. I believe no monster spawns on the first day, so you can just keep going for as long as your cat is happy. But you also have a shop here, and with this you can purchase some tools. So you have a flashlight to light up the dark area. You have a scanner, which will allow you to scan the ticket and basically take it with you, which is really nice. So if you're worried about having to memorize, don't worry, the next day you can buy the scanner to make things easier for you. You've got the backpack to take more items, tool belt to take a scanner and a flashlight, and the running shoes, which will make you run faster. So you've got a bunch of upgrades here. I won't go through all of them, but you do have a bunch of upgrades you can take to make the jobs easier. As mentioned earlier, you do have the basement and the HR, so additional areas you can run towards to get more expensive items. We have cat food to keep the cat happy, which is really nice. And then we have cat toys, which are permanent upgrades to the cat's happiness. We only have $20 here, so I think I might buy a cat toy. Rather than filling up their happiness in day one, I'm very happy to just get a permanent upgrade of, there we go, 30 happiness, which is really, really nice. And then, like I said, you can buy individual food to, instead of do permanent upgrades, just temporary replenishments, which is good. The permanent upgrade does also replenish the happiness in the process, which I really like. but the cat food does provide more happiness than the upgrade itself. So you can decide what you want to do there. And then it also has trophies for more end game content that you want to go for. However, we're going to go pick up the next ticket and I'll yap away about the game. So with warehouse P103 with 1279 is the code there. So P103 1279. So again, we just want to make our way to elemental P103, like so. And then we want to go 1279. Perfect, and that's us. Got another item. So the gameplay is very simple, but it's also quite nice. It's got enough gameplay to make it feel like an interactive horror game. I'm personally not a big fan of some horror games, more like the, say, observation duty type games, where you're just standing and you're watching. Go ship order. This does feel a lot more interactive, and there's definitely lots of different things to aim for, and that you can upgrade and make the game feel a little different each time. I feel like having to actually avoid a monster while being on a time limit is quite nice, makes the game feel fresh. So this is F106, and we're looking at 1345. And I think it's great. I think it's been really fun, and also, more importantly, quite scary at times. Apologies, I'm getting lost in my thoughts here, because I've completely forgotten what the ticket said, and this is going to happen as I try yapping through the video. But as with my other first impressions videos, I like making sure we're talking through the gameplay. It's F106. I thought it was maybe 07. It's 1345. 06 1345. I like to make sure we're actually talking through the gameplay rather than just seeing me with pre-recorded footage and giving my thoughts. I think it's more fun, especially for a horror game, where you will actually see, even though I'm not recording my camera right now, you will see very visible jump scares as they happen. And they're not cheap jump scares either, in my opinion. I think they're done a little well with the lights just turning off, maybe a box falls. It's not like a monster just jumps straight into your face for no real good reason. So, you know, I'm not a huge fan of, you know, scares in games being reduced to jump scares, but I think they're quite natural in this game, which I don't mind at all. Print the order here. So we've got D103, and then we have 1347. Perfect. D103, 1347. That one's nice and easy. And like I said, no monster the first day, so we can just take our time. Now, if you like the idea of just playing Warehouse Simulator without the monster, I believe there's a time limit. You can do that as well. So the developers have added a chill mode. And that chill mode will allow you to play it without any jump scares, without any monsters. And you can just play the game, get an upgrade, doing your quota, and having a chill time, which I think is fantastic. I think it's great. The developers are adding these highly requested features and I guess giving a more accessible way to play the game for people who don't like horror games but do want the fun, you know, warehouse simulation experience. So you do have that as well, which I think is really cool. Again, no monsters, so we can just keep going all night, which I think we want to do because some of these upgrades are really expensive. I like to go for running shoes as soon as I can because having extra stamina is going to be really nice if we need to leg it away from any monsters. Alright, so now we have K106 1358. K106 1358, which is right here. K106 right at the end, 1358. So I'm a huge fan to hear that. So if you are clicking this video and you think, you know, the 156. There we are. 1258. If you are watching this video and you're thinking, yo, the base gameplay actually looks quite enjoyable, I think I'd like this a lot. You can play it without having to stress about the monster, or even if you just want to play it late at night, and want to be sure you can get to sleep at night, there you go, you've got an option too. So there's many ways to play this game. Alright, let's do this. And I am just going to do this until we run out of happiness, if that's okay. Just to ramble about the game before we get into the next day, where I will be shitting myself, for lack of better words. V102 3457. 3457. 02 3457. So if we go down to V, which is all the way over there. Duck down here? Nope, that's a dead end. Alright, see, now we're getting some of the ambience happening here. So you will hear the monster on the first day as well, even if you don't see them. Unfortunately, I have forgotten which bay it is. In fact, it looks like you can only interact with the bay that it actually is. So that's nice. So if you forget, that's okay. As long as you know which bay it is, it'll show you which container you need to interact with. So I quite like that as well. It means that you're not having to worry about not being able to remember and whatnot. It's got a little safety guide in there too, which is very handy. Alright. Yes, as I said, you do even start getting the jump scares, or the ambience even, maybe not jump scares, on day one with lights going off, monster running around. I've not noticed any jump scares on day one, like the box falling down right in front of you. So that is something to keep an eye out on. So even when you're playing on the first day, it does start setting a tone, and as you spend more and more time here, you will need to be careful. So S106 4678 06 4678. S is a much easier one to get to as well. And I am in desperate need of running shoes too. I also feel like things got a bit darker. TS 6. Unfortunately, I have completely forgotten the code again, which isn't too good. Nope, never mind, I got it. Perfect. Alright, our cat's happiness is getting low. We may be able to do one more trip, but I might just move on to the next day so you have a bit more content to look at, because I understand, there you go, the cat's getting unhappy. I understand this maybe isn't the most interesting part to look at. You're here for a horror game, but there's no horror going on, right? As much as I'd like maybe one more quota to get a bit more money, I also want to make sure you guys are staying entertained. So let's do that, let's do this, and then I'll talk a little bit more about my thoughts in the game. Ship the order, next 27, there you are. You're a bit happier now. We can sleep away. And that's us with an extra 185, and your quota goes up each day as well. So we can log in, we can pet you for some extra happiness. I'm going to go to the shop, and I am going to quickly get the running shoes, just to give us a bit more stamina to work with. There we are. And I can either save money for the cheap cat food to give us even more happiness overall, or I could just buy, say, the litter box for more permanent happiness, which maybe isn't a bad shout. Maybe it's not a bad shout. Where does this go? This goes right here. Perfect. Although, honestly, I think I want the scanner. So I'm going to do a little bit of safe scumming, because I think it's, I think I need the scanner for this. So on day 2, what I'm going to do is, I think because I'm talking while doing this, rather than running shoes, I will just get the scanner here. There we are, just to make sure things aren't too overwhelming while I'm yapping about the game. So here we can print the order here, and then we can scan the ticket. Right? Grab? There we go. So now on the scanner, we always have a reference here. And as you'll see, we have W2 now. So that means the next bay down. And with a monster going around, things get a little overwhelming sometimes. So I like making sure that we have the scanner for while we're doing the video. Otherwise, I will go for the running shoes. We could upgrade to a 3-ticket rack if we want to get 3 items at once, but for that we would need the backpack as well to be able to carry an extra item. So I think the 3-ticket rack maybe isn't what we need immediately. Basement certification could be fun actually. That would give us more expensive items. Or we could just go for a cat happiness. I think, you know what, let's maybe try. I've not been to the basement yet. So let's buy this. There we are. Now we'll hang it up here. Even got an achievement there. Now, unfortunately, we've already printed a ticket, so we're unable to get a basement ticket immediately. But now that we have the scanner, we can yap a bit more as we continue on forward. So, like I mentioned, did I pass W? No, I didn't. That's not how the alphabet works. R's around here. Like I mentioned, the monster's going to spawn now, and things get notably harder and scarier each day. I don't know if there's a limit on the number of days you need to survive and do your work, but what I do know is that, can I just pick these up? Fantastic. What I do know, hopefully this is the right item, is that what it does perfectly. Now, surviving number of days, you know, doing your job, meeting the quota and whatnot, to me, you know, the first game I think of would be, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's, where, oh, we've got some blood here now. Jeez, oh, that's not good. So things are already getting a bit more scary. And I think comparisons to Five Nights at Freddy's isn't too bizarre, given, you know, surviving a certain amount of days, things only start getting, you know, lethal after the first day. But compared to Five Nights at Freddy's, I would say this is a game, one, with actual gameplay, two, actually puts you on quite a bit of an edge. You know, that was the game I was saying that does rely on pure jump scares, in a way I'm not the biggest fan of for horror games. And three, you know, the developer of Order 13, unlike Five Nights at Freddy's, notably hasn't spent profits on far-right politicians, so I think that is another huge bonus to this game compared to that. Oh, also we have a cat, so that's yet another one, which is fantastic. Alright, we have WHP203 now, so now we need to run down to P. Notably not just Five Nights at Freddy's, but also other observation duty-like games, which I'm not, like I mentioned, the biggest fan of. Other people are, and that's perfectly fine. We all have our own preference. Oh, there we have the monster coming out already. And they are roaming around. There they are, right here. Wow, they are running after us immediately. Can we hide from them? We can hide from them, but they're going to look around. And unfortunately, we can't hide here forever, because our cat is rather unhappy. But like I said, some people will have a preference for the more observation duty type games. This one I do like is a lot more interactive, in terms of still having that same core gameplay loop of having to survive X amount of days with things getting notably tougher and tougher each time. Alright. So you see the monster there, so we're able to just come out and walk around. It looks like they've disappeared now too, which is quite handy. So the monster doesn't seem to hear you when you're just walking. They only seem to be an issue when you're running, and they will be able to hear you as you're running. I don't know if that's exclusive to just the second day, because I will admit I've only played up to the second day just to give things a try before giving you my first impressions immediately and actually recording the gameplay. I like playing it just a little bit before I actually tell you any opinions in the game, rather than just seeing me try and work things out at the first try and possibly shout at me for not doing the most optimal things that I might not know about as I'm just starting out the game. Alright, can we get basement order this time? Oh, another warehouse. H306. So we're going even further back now, which isn't too great. But also hopefully means things get a little scarier, because once more it's nice to see you hopefully see me like I said, shit myself live on camera. And honestly, the flashlight might be tempting to take here because things are getting darker and darker. So maybe we'll save up for that just to make the actual objective a little easier to take. Did I see something crawling on the floor there? I don't know if I did. I don't know if I did. Alright, 06. No, but I do hear the monster running around. So I feel like... Oh, hang on. H3. We're in the wrong place. I feel like once you hear the monster running around, that's when they spawn. And once you take the item, that's when they despawn, at least on day 2. I could be completely wrong there. Yeah, they are roaming around again. So we want to make sure we don't run. But unfortunately, we need to pick up the speed because our cat is getting unhappy. There we go. See the monster right there. So they have spawned. And I am very much right to not just run around. Obviously, we could have avoided this whole situation if I realized we had to go to H instead of W. We might need to start running here now that we are quite a fair bit away from the monster. And hopefully, we can test whether they hear us or not. H, G, F. H should be here. H3. Oh, H is farther down. There we go. So it looks like monster doesn't hear you at all when you are... oh, don't even need to open it. Quite far away, which is good. We are going to want to make sure we conserve our stamina. We don't have the running shoes, so we can't spring for a long time. And our cat is, unfortunately, getting very unhappy. And I think with that, we're going to have to bring the day to a close if we have quota. Alright, a monster is near, I believe. Now we're just going to sprint back home, like so. A running shoes we definitely need. Have we got quota? I certainly hope so. Yes, we do. Fantastic stuff. Alright, let's print this off. Oh, let's print this off. Let's put it away. I had to sneeze there, sorry. Now let's ship it off, and now we have just hit quota, so we won't have too much to spend, unfortunately, but I think that's fine. I think you don't really want to push it on subsequent days. Just that first day, you really want to make sure you are making as much money as possible, because you will have to maybe end the days a little sooner next time. Hopefully we get some basement tickets though, and then that will give us some more items. So go basement 1. Now I just need to try and find where the basement is, but because it's a blue sign, I'd assume we follow the blue line to get to the basement. I could be wrong. And then what do we want to buy with $111? We can't afford the running shoes, unfortunately. We could maybe get a tool belt and a flashlight, but I don't know if I want the flashlight either. We could even just make the cat happier with a fluffy cat bed, or maybe a litter box. Maybe making the cat happier is probably the best thing we can do right now. We'll keep her money for now. There we are. I just realized we already had the litter box. Don't know if that was an upgrade or not. Yeah, maybe it was. We can even get the closed off litter box. You know what? Let's maybe do that, because we have a lot of money here. Fantastic. So we're getting a ton of happiness. There we are. Brilliant stuff. So we have 435 happiness, which is good. We also have a cat that laughs at us and points at us, which is fantastic. Can I pet you? I don't know if I pet you last time, but that's an extra bit of happiness there. Alright, so now we need to go to the basement. We need to go to I-102. I'm assuming the basement is here. There we go, basement. And notably, we're going down to where all the blood is. I've never been to the basement before, so I am already a little bit on edge. Oh, there's a body in there. Unfortunately, I've not familiarized myself with the layout of the basement either, and we do have a monster on us already, which isn't too good. Am I gonna die here already? I wouldn't like that at all. I've run out of stamina. So yeah, there we go. Looks like it's a different monster in the basement too. Alright, let's restart day 3. That really didn't work for us. That really didn't work for us. But notably harder at night, I think. Or not at night. Later on in days and further on down in the warehouse. It looks like there is a basement 2 and a HR section as well. Alright, so we do have a litter box here. But I am just going to buy that again. Like so. And then I'm going to buy another upgrade because I want to make sure we have enough happiness to keep going. This does 55. That's, yeah, I think the 60 is the best one. Perfect. Okay, so now what do we want to do? We want to keep our money. We could get a 3-ticket rack, but we can't carry more than 1 item, I don't believe. Maybe we can carry 2. There we go, get our scanner. Maybe keep our money for the cheap cat food, just to be safe. Right, thankfully we do have basement again. I think this is the exact same ticket. B1I102. So again, we go straight down here to the basement, where there's a lot of blood. Put in our certification. And then we can head down. And the monster might spawn again. We've got a dead body here again. I want to make our way through here. And the fact that they have different layers, so it's not just the same warehouse you go to, and there are different monsters, they all look a bit different. See, I should have hid under here and it might have been okay. Oh, hold on. This layout is very different to what I expected. I2. I1 must be over there. And once again, we do have the monster already. G1, H1. Oh, it is different. Wow. This is I'm lost. This is very hard to navigate. M K J I. Wow, this is tough. Alright. I-101, I-102 will be here. But although it's notably harder, you will be making quite a bit of money. Can we sprint here and not be hurt? That's a yes, which is huge. Jesus Christ, okay. The jump scares are starting to kick in as well, everyone. Alright, and we crouch here so the monster can't follow us either. Cat's happiness has went down notably because it did take us a bit of time to familiarize ourselves with the basement there. Unfortunately, I'm still not fully familiarized. It's still very confusing. Alright, fantastic. How much is this worth? $55. So that's quite a bit more money than normal. So that's great. Let's put this here. Let's do this, and then let's do this. Ship order. Fantastic. 55 quid. I'm happy with that. In fact, that's fantastic because that means we might only need 2 orders to fix our quota. We do have another basement ticket worth $50, so we would hit our quota after this. So the basement seems like a must-buy because this cuts down the time down quite drastically, to be honest. And again, the happiness is a huge help too. I think the flashlight might help finding the monster more as well, but for the flashlight you also need to buy the tool belt. Because I could buy it here now, but maybe I want to keep it the happiness. We do have quite a lot of happiness. We might not need to do that. Alright, B1F104. So back to the basement again, and then F. So it should be closer, so hopefully a bit easier to find, but things... I hear a monster already. It sounds like it's right next to me. But I don't see it. Oh, there we go. It is right next to me. It was following me the whole time and it's stuck in the corner, so I can't actually get through. There you are. It's trying to find me now. But we won't let it eat me. It's also wrapped in chains, this one. Notably, the other one wasn't. Alright, we should be able to just walk past you here. So now we need to find F1. Here we are. F104. I'll check because the monster is still around here. Oh, that's it, just ran away. 04. Nicely done. This monster's still around here. Was that a different monster ran away? Oh, that was a different monster. Wow. Oh, and it's running after me. So now I need to be careful and try and find a hiding spot, I think. Do we have one here? We do. Oh, it got us. It did get us, though. So, like I was saying, the running shoes are a bit of a necessity. But so is the basement. So you're really need to balance out what you pick up and what you think is going to help you the most. Unfortunately, we don't have enough to start off with running shoes. And I think I do want to, maybe for now, we will just go for the normal litter box. And then instead of upgrading that again immediately, we'll wait until we absolutely need to, because we might benefit more from, say, the flashlight and the scanner together. Alright, print order. Here we are. Now, of course, you could save some money. Maybe instead of buying a scanner, you could take a picture or a screenshot of your order and just refer to that whenever you want. Is that cheating? Maybe, but at the same time, I think the most important part is playing the game however it's the most comfortable and easiest for you. So that is an entirely different option. I'll be fully transparent. That's what I started doing before I realized that that's what the scanner does. So I was just taking a picture because I do not remember things too well, and then I realized, well, actually, for only $50, you can buy an item that does the exact same thing your phone's doing right now. Alright, the monster is close, but thankfully we are here. So we will just need to be careful and avoid it. Monster's over there heading back to where we want to go, which isn't too good. Now, again, it looks like you can still hide, but you do need to be fast. I don't know if this monster specifically you're unable to hide from. I guess we'll find out here. There we are. So you can still hide from them, which is good. That's fantastic to know. You do need to just make sure you're not caught in their line of sight. Because it did look like they were munching at us, even though we're crouched underneath. But maybe they got us just before we're fully underneath where we had to be. Alright, let's maybe crouch and head out here. We can run and crouch under, and we're fine. There we go, you can't get us. Because our cat is getting unhappy. And I don't want to leave them waiting forever. Hopefully no monsters right at the top here now. And I think it's a very nice gameplay loop. I think being able to explore these additional areas once you have the money for it does keep things a bit more on edge. It keeps things fresh because it's not the same, not the same warehouse layout that you maybe get used to. But also just the fact that you're slowly working up with new upgrades, new items each time, being able to spend more time collecting things, I think is great. I think it's been a really fun experience playing this game so far, and I'm very excited to see if the devs continue to work on it. Like I said, they have implemented already a chill mode where you can just disable the monsters altogether if you'd like to play this game without the jump scares or the horror aspect. And I think that's great, and I'm interested to see if they are going to release additional modes over time. Where's the monster here? You're right here. There you are. Oh my goodness. Can we just crawl out now? I don't think they will see if you're crawling. I could be completely wrong there. We definitely don't want to run just now anyway. F104 is up here, so we're going to turn all the way around here. Do remember that. One thing I will say I quite like is that it feels like things are preset each time you start again. So the print orders don't change if you need to restart. So if you get unlucky with the hiding spaces or your stamina, that's okay. You're a little better prepared the next night. You might not enjoy that. I think it's just a nice little quality of life. Where are you? I'm gonna just run out here. Hopefully you don't get me. And that does mean I've at least hit quota with 2 orders, which is really nice. But I do like that you're not completely punished. And especially one thing I do love is that you're not just restarting on day one, as it does take some time getting used to things. There we are. Let's fill this up. Let's pop this away here. Get a bit of tape. Oh, excuse me. Get some tape. Get some stickers. Send it on its way. That's 50 bucks. We'll do one more, I think. Well, we've got quite a bit of happiness. We could just keep going. Unfortunately, it really wants us to come down into this basement, which is fine, because again, we're getting, hang on, is that still £50? $50? 53? Yeah, we're getting a lot of money on each order here. Things are really ramping up. But obviously, the big trade-off is this monster is right at the start. They're a lot harder to avoid, and a lot harder to work around, more importantly. And now we just need to hope that they don't eat us alive, but it doesn't sound like they're near us yet. No, I take it back. I can hear the footsteps. It sounds like they're right next to us, even. Alright, let's put in our code. Nice and easy code. We have a little, what's that, a little bunny rabbit? That's fantastic. Can't go that way, but it looks like the monster's like over there. Sounds like it too. So if we go this way, we should be able to just run through, but again, because we don't have a lot of stamina, I don't want to risk it too much. There we are. We're far enough that our stamina, our running doesn't matter. We're able to just progress like so. I am interested to see what the other basements areas and the HR area is like. Because if it's even more dangerous, I don't know, maybe 2 monsters at once, perhaps? Or maybe they're just a lot more aggressive. I think that would be quite interesting to find out. Alright. I don't know if getting the basement certification means we only work in the basement or if it'll take us to the warehouse. So I'm happy to keep going just to find that out. Ship order. Print order. Yeah, another basement. P1 this time. Keeps us in the starting area, so it looks like the next day we might go to P2, etc. Unless we're able to get enough money to get the second certification, which honestly, I don't think is impossible. I mean, we've already hit 158. We already have 81 in our wallet. This is another 57. So if we didn't buy anything else tomorrow, we could just get to the second basement already. Now, I don't know if there's an end game. I don't know if the goal is to maybe get to the HR department. I think I have read people have been able to beat the game within 4 or 5 days. So I feel like that is the goal to... Oh, jeez. Monster's right here. Do I risk it and go now? Let you walk away a little bit more. And then I'll just carry on myself. So it looks like there is an end game. It isn't just doing this for eternity until you stop getting scared of the jump scares, you know, until the novelty of everything wears off. There we are. You do have to continue until you finish the game. So there is an end goal in sight if that's something you're maybe worried about with the game yourself. Where are you? There you are. Can't catch me up. Admittedly, the novelty of the monsters hasn't been a huge hit with me so far, but once more, we are only in day 3. Things do ramp up in difficulty and in horror, fear factor, I suppose. And when I did first start playing, the first encounter of the monster did have me on edge, especially trying to outrun them and get all the way back here with them right behind me and stopping at the gate. That was an experience. But after that, it's kind of like, well, I feel like I know what to do. But once more, there's definitely a lot more to worry about as the days go on. Now, we could try for one more order. Our cat's happiness is 107. I don't know if I should maybe increase the happiness once more. Maybe like a play ball for 40? Or even increase happiness by 30? That's 60. Or 60. Yeah, why don't we go for, why don't we get more happiness here? More temporary happiness. we should now have enough for, say, one more run, I think. Maybe two. Which is good. Maybe the monster will properly get me. And again, it doesn't look like we have to go out to the warehouse, so that's nice. So you do get to benefit from the additional money you earn from this section, which is lovely. I don't know if later days will require you to go between the warehouse and the monsters near already again. The warehouse and... oh my goodness, they are close. In fact, are they right there? Where are they? They are here. But I don't see them. See, this is where the flashlight come in handy. There they are there. We've got noises going on as well. I don't know if we can get this harder. I don't know if we can get this harder. They've stopped. Oh, they're making noises. I'm struggling to even find where A103 is. So, I think, yeah, cat's starting to get unhappy here. A103. C1. A1's over here, I believe. But honestly, I'm worried we're not going to make it. I think we'll just leave here. I think we'll just get out. Monster's got us. Oh, dang. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I got a bit too greedy. But this is Order 13. Order 13, a game I was hesitant on approaching because, again, I was worried it was going to be more similar to an observation duty experience. I was worried it was just going to be a game with not too much gameplay itself, and you just need to watch out for the monsters. But it's actually really, really wonderful. There's a lot to do here, and it's one I highly recommend. Order 13 is also available on Steam right now for £7.49. I believe that's close to $9–10. So feel free to check this out. I feel like that's a very, very generous price for the game you get as well. I think there's a really decent amount of fun to be had in this game, and like I said, with the additional chill mode as well, there's two completely different ways to play it. I've been RobinVouz. Huge thank you, of course, to Cybernetic Walrus for allowing me to cover this game, and I do recommend you check it out for yourselves. If you would like to check out more games, we do a lot more first impressions here on this channel, so feel free to leave a like, comment what you think of the game. We've got some hands here as well, and maybe even subscribe if you want to check out more interesting games down the road. Whether they're horror, roguelike, strategy games, I do my best to cover what I can. You can even follow us over on twitch.tv/RobinVouz. If you'd like to join in the community where we play games live, possibly even open lobbies depending on the game itself. Once again, thank you very much for watching. We have bodies hanging up over here too, dripping with blood as well. Wow, isn't that lovely? I'm glad we got to explore this area a little more. Fantastic. Once again, thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate you spending the time watching my coverage of this game, and I hope you try it yourself. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. I'm interested to hear if it's a game you'll pick up yourself. We have the monster here. Can we get a closer picture of you? Oh, there we go. That actually did give me a bit of a jump too. And on that note, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you guys again next time.